my channel. If you're new here, you're most definitely welcome. And if you've been coming back for quite some time, thank you for your ongoing support. I really appreciate it. Today, I'm going to do a video about co-parenting with a difficult or a toxic partner. Part A, we've all had them in our lives. There's no denial. And some of us have gone as far as having children with them. I am guilty of that, but that's okay. So today, I'm just going to give you guys my personal tips about how I overcame dealing with a difficult or a toxic partner. If you want to watch the rest of the video, please stay tuned. Don't forget to comment below. Please communicate with me. You need to talk to me so I can produce some good content for you. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Let's go. So guys, this whole issue of parenting is already so hard in itself, but when you have to co-parent, it could even sometimes seem like it's almost impossible to do. I swear, it can be so difficult. Look, I am not an expert in what I'm going to say. I'm just going off from my own personal experience. So I thought, you know what, somebody out there might benefit from what they hear from me and some of the tips that I had to use to actually overcome dealing with my difficult partner or a toxic partner. So here we have it. What is co-parenting? For starters, I'm going to define co-parenting. Co-parenting is a situation where both parties are not married or cohabiting together or romantically involved. Excuse my pronunciation, or romantically involved with one another. So they're, you know, they kind of like have one thing in common, which is to parent together. But they're not having any kinky stuff going on in the background. They are finished, gone, done, dusted, okay? So when you look at it from this perspective, you think, well, if it's just like looking after children, it should be easy because they're not involved anymore. It's just about their kids, and their kids should be priority number one. Their kids should be everything they're thinking about. Well, you are wrong. Unfortunately, I don't know why. And I still, until this day, at my old age, I'm still trying to work out why when people separate, it becomes so difficult. Even things that were not really difficult in the marriage or the relationship or even the one-night stand becomes difficult, okay? So the first thing that when you are dealing with a difficult or toxic person, the first thing you need to do to protect yourself and to protect your children is make sure that you find time for you. Time where you can actually meditate, time where you can be silent without the kid, without anyone. That's the thing. That's number one. When you've just left a very toxic place, the last thing you want is to continue with the toxicity in your mind. So you need to really free yourself from that by giving yourself time for you. Meditate, self-love, self-care. That's important, okay? And thing number two would be understanding that everything you're doing it for the benefit of your children. So say, for example, you came from an abusive relationship. Sometimes being abusive doesn't have to be physical. It can be emotional, it can be psychological, it can be spiritual, it can be financial. There's a whole vast way people can abuse you. So just say you escape from one of them types of relationship. What you want to do is that you have to accept that you left that situation, not because you wanted to, but because you were doing it for your kids and of course too for yourself. So understand everything you're doing it for the benefit of your children. Once you have that clarity and you know why, it's going to take you far. Because you'd be like, you know what? Every time you want to beat yourself up, you'd be like, nope, I'm doing this for my kids. And you look at the kids and you know what? You do anything. As mothers and fathers, you do anything for your children. Number two would be to understand the law in your state. What does the family law involved? What are your rights, your entitlements when it comes to the children and the co-parenting? Because some people would go to court. In Australia, it's my personal experience. Some people would go to court and they would fight for, they would try and get like a fair sort of like settlement in regards to how the kids will be raised. Sometimes it's fantastic, other times it's not. Especially in our Sudanese community, the struggle is so real. I'm telling you, I could sit here be sweating. Half of the time the men don't even show up in court, okay? They feel so entitled, they don't even bother showing up in court. That's how much disrespect they can have. So anyway, if you're lucky and you happen to go to court and you were given your I guess parenting plan, you just got to make sure you understand that and know where you stand. make sure you understand where you stand. So when this other party wants to abuse you in a way that is kind of like interfering with your lifestyle and the lifestyle of the children and the routine, you have to remind them, we have got a parenting plan from court. If you don't obey that and you don't follow that, I will have to take it up with some lawyers. This would normally put them in their place. But sometimes some of them don't listen. I mean, I had a personal experience where my ex would just walk into the house and he would literally not even say hi, the notification. He won't even tell me or give me a notification when he's coming. He just walks in, and if I say, excuse me, he'll be like, it's my kids, I'm coming to see my kids. Mind you, I'm busy paying rent, I'm busy paying the school fee, and I'm busy doing everything. I'm busting my ass, my balls, everything. I'm busting it all, and nigga doesn't care. So these things can happen. That's how you know they're difficult, okay? Because they try to make your life living hell, even though you're raising their kids, which to me I don't understand. Anyhow, the next thing you need to also do to avoid affecting your children and their mental health when they get older is to avoid confrontation around children. So if you and your partner have difficulties really communicating, do not confront each other in front of the kids, because you have no idea. Children are like little sponges. They will absorb everything you say, everything you do, and it's almost like they're not there, but they are there. Mentally, they are seriously so there. It's almost they're like God-like. They're literally like God-like, because God, they say God is always there. Kids are always there. They listen, they learn. They might not talk and express it, but it comes out later on in life when they get older. So always be mindful when you just want to say, watch it. Don't say it around the kids, because the kids will be like, or every time you want to say, don't say it, because if you do, it's gonna come back and bite you in the ass, because your children are gonna, I suppose they're gonna be the one to suffer in the long run. So avoid that sort of confrontational language where you're confronting in front of your children. It's not good for them when they get older. When they become teenagers, it can really have a negative side effect in their mental well-being. So don't do it. Avoid it at all cost. The other thing that I would recommend that I first didn't realize and struggle with enormously was communication, and really limiting communication. It sounds like, why would you want to limit communication with the father of your children or the mother of your children? But unfortunately, sometimes this is the best thing you can do, because if you communicate with them too much and you share too much, they can use that information against you, and it becomes like you said, she said, okay? So you don't want to find yourself in that situation. You've got to treat this whole parenting thing, especially when you're co-parenting, or should I say when you're parallel parenting, okay? You got to treat it like a business transaction. Honestly, if you want to be sane and happy, you got to treat it like a business transaction. What time are you coming to pick up the kids? Fantastic. Saturday, 10 o'clock? That sounds great. That's all you do. You don't need to communicate anymore. Whatever he's going to do with the kids is not your business. You're going to have the time off to clean your house. You're going to have the time off to do your nails. You're going to have the time to do your hair. You got to do you. And it's really, it's good for you, because you get time to actually regroup and think about everything else and do things that you need to do that you normally will not have time with the kids. And then the children will also have to go and see the other party, and they'll learn a thing or two about them. So when they come back to you, you know where you stand. Oh, I didn't like it there. Oh, I loved it there. So this leads me there. So this leads me to the next thing. So if you're sharing responsibility for the kids, co-parenting, make sure that you don't criticize the children or manipulate them. Say, for example, your partner takes the children for the weekend, okay? And for some reason, they probably didn't have a decent meal. Maybe they weren't dressed well. Maybe they came back with dirty clothes. Maybe somebody hurt themselves. You're not, when the kids come home, and let me repeat this, when they come home to you, and I repeat, do not criticize the other partner around them. This is so toxic for your child. Don't be like, oh, don't do it. Don't do it. Just zip your mouth and do whatever best you can to fix the situation that you are given. However, the time everything gets damaged and gets brought back to you as a mom, deal with it. Do not criticize your other partner around the kids, because what this would do is it would make the children question, oh, if dad is such a bad person, what does that say about me as well, you know, because they're half of his and they have yours. So you really have to watch your language. I know, and I'm guilty of this, okay? There was a time in my life when I had just broken up with the father of my kids, and I'm telling you what, the asshole was pushing it hard on me, okay? He was nasty. And there was certain times where I said things that I shouldn't have said, like we all guilty of that, right? It's not just me, but then I had to remember whatever I say. And the reason I use Dinka is because I don't want YouTube to actually be so okay. And I discovered that I was actually not doing it to him because he was not around. I was just insulting and saying stuff to my kids, and they didn't deserve it. I was not warranted to do that. So I had to cut that out. It was nothing to do with them. Zero zilch. They had nothing to do with it. Okay? That's something I had to learn the hard way. And I know that in our culture, sometimes Sudanese, whatever, like South Sudanese, when we get angry, we can name call, and you kind of look like your father and you remind me of your dad. Ladies, cut that shit out. Not good for your child, okay? Gentlemen, if you're the type like, hey, yeah, we are watching you all. You watch your mouth and cut it out too. It's for the kids, okay? The other thing that we have to be really mindful of is making sure that we like I said before, that we don't try and share too much information, okay? Because these guys, even though when I say guy, I mean like your partners, so even though you guys are separated, you think that they'll have a different way of coping or dealing with things. They are still hooked on you, girl. You tell them you got a new job, or you tell them you got into university, or you even tell them that you're about to graduate from certificate 4, nigga's gonna be huffing and he's gonna be mad as hell. Don't tell them anything to do with your achievements, okay? Honestly, if you want some sort of peace around your parenting and co-parenting, and you want some peace, make sure you don't share your information with them. And that goes to say not a lot of communication. Be in control of what you communicate to them, okay? Say little, less is more. Don't they say that? Less is more. So focus on just saying very minimum. Keep thriving, keep doing you. What makes you happy when you're dating a hot partner? Keep your mouth zip. I'm telling you, that's the only thing. Because once they know, even if they completely hate your ass, they're gonna come out of nowhere and they'll be like, hey, I heard you are doing this and this and this, and these children, I feel sorry for them, come on, and this and we don't want that. We're not about that life, okay? So avoid sharing too much information with your ex. The other thing is, last but not least, be grateful. Be grateful that you are the woman that you are today, or you are the man that you are today because of your past experiences. And be grateful that you've got healthy kids. Be grateful that you've got roof over your head. Be grateful that you are in a position where you can actually still try and communicate, even though they are toxic and they are difficult and they are complete nightmare. Be very grateful, because some people don't make it out these sort of situations. So for God, the financial discussion, and I'm so guilty of this. Oh my God, I used to be like to my kids all the time, I don't have money. They'll be like, I want this, I don't have money for that, I don't have money for this, I don't have money for that, I don't have money, your father doesn't give me enough money, your father doesn't pay me. It's so wrong. Now I look at it and I think about it, so wrong. That's one of the biggest mistakes that I committed raising my children for the 10 years that I was a single mom for. It was a big mistake. I should not discuss my financial situation around children, because it leaves them with a mark, and it also can affect them in the long run with how they handle their own financials as well. Maybe they'll be really poor financially. They might not be able to have that knowledge because mom was always saying I don't have. They might even developed a sort of fear of not having enough, so when they get enough, they would always feel like they don't have enough, and they'll be greedy by wanting to make more so they can have enough when times get tough. You see what? So if you are talking to your children about how their father's not supporting them, cut it out. It's not their business. You deal with him. Excuse me. I'm just going to sum up the video. Co-parenting is defined as a situation where parties are not married, cohabiting, or romantically involved with one another. Okay, so both parents take care of a child or children together, but they don't have any romance attached to it. And then I looked at it from, you know, like, we need to understand the laws in your state. Which state are you in? what laws did you go to court, what were your rights, what were your entitlements, and the benefit. Everything you do, you're doing it for the benefit of the children. So you really have to remove yourself, go from the situation, and only look at it as in, I'm doing this for my kids. And avoid confrontational situations. Do not confront each other in front of the kids, because the kids are very observant and they absorb everything. They observe and absorb. So you don't want that. You don't want them remembering all this toxic stuff about their parent. And sadly, this stuff can actually go down the line, and they can pass it down to their children if we're not very careful what we do and say around children. Limit your communication, girls. Don't tell them anything. Be very, 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 even the kids, don't tell the children much either, because if you tell them everything, they take it back. Oh, mommy's got this and that, and that is where the problems start. And criticizing a partner around your children, or manipulating your children and criticizing your kids, and not understanding, like, oh yeah, why did he not feed you, or why did he bring you back with dirty clothes, or why did he not bring what I asked him to bring, why did you guys not show up on time? That's not the kid's business. That's you and his business, okay? So keep that shit to yourself. There's no need to be going out there and throwing it on the table for the children to try to understand. It's too complex for their understanding, and they're too little, too young. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you like this video and you'd like to see some more videos like this, don't forget to leave some comment below, and please subscribe. No, hang on. Subscribe here. Click the notification bell here too, I believe. Oh my god, I'm stupid. So hey guys, sorry. Thank you so much for watching. If you like the video and you'd like to see some more videos like this, leave some comment below. I like to talk to you guys. Comment below and subscribe here and like and share, please. Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate your time here, and I hope to see you sometime very soon. Bye.